Welcome to Stitches in Time, the podcast discussing Doctor Who the way it was meant to be watched, in chronological order, one clip at a time, starting at the Big Bang and ending with the heat death of the universe. I'm Becca, the Matrix Archivist, and I spent the last 13 years of my life meticulously editing the entire televised Doctor Who universe into chronological order.
And I'm Mandy, and this podcast takes a hard stance against bullying. If your quote-unquote friend pushes you out of a moving vehicle, that is not okay, and I need you to go to a trusted adult and tell them, because friends don't push friends into the vacuum of space.
Yeah.
True?
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, also, every time one of my bullies has pushed me out of a moving vehicle, they don't usually then jump out after me. That seems like a bad move, but we'll get into it.
Just wrecked a lot of vehicles that way.
Yeah. I mean, I've done it in Grand Theft Auto, but that's about it. It's just sometimes easier to dive out of the driver's seat than it is to park.
What is Doctor Who if not Grand Theft Auto in space?
I guess Doctor Who is sort of a multi-decades-long British sci-fi show about a Gallifreyan who travels throughout space and time on a TARDIS.
Just like Grand Theft
Sarah,
Auto.
you just described Grand Theft
space.
Auto. That's yeah. Like
yeah,
GTA 5, like if you play the online stuff, it's like, oh yeah. This is pretty much just Doctor Who.
Oh, no, I know. Sorry, I should clarify. I was reading the Rockstar Wikipedia.
Oh, sure, yeah.
That's why GTA 6 has taken us this long. They have to do all of space.
Oh my god. And also joining us is Sara Caplan, who is primarily an improviser, though she is suddenly also a trans educational comedy Instagram influencer somehow. I like that trans came after the suddenly. I
She's
approve of
suddenly
that
also
in your bio.
trans.
I was already an educational comedy Instagram influencer, yes.
Yeah. All of a sudden, the trans...
It's called Rapid for a reason.
She's currently in the process of auditioning for a play, but doesn't know if she got the part yet as of the time of this recording, so consider her in a superposition of either actress or not actress. Like Irwin's cat. Did you know that was Schrodinger's first name? Irwin. I know. Irwin's cat just doesn't have the same ring, but it is technically correct, and that is the most important thing in the universe. Did I read your bio?
Yeah, that's
okay,
it.
Sorry. Yeah,
that's perfect delivery of my bio. Thank you.
Welcome back, Sara Caplan.
Thank you so much. I'm so happy to be here.
What is this play?
The play
and when will you know?
The play is the Circle Hermaphroditos.
Oh yes.
Yes, it's a very cool trans play that is about a society of female impersonators, fairies, inverts, Uranians, a lot of people we would largely consider trans women or other GNC kind of peeps. And the play takes place in the early 1900s, late 1890s in New York City. And the Circle Hermaphroditos is first described in the autobiography of an early 20th century fairy female impersonator, maybe trans person named Jenny June, who describes herself as having been a member of it, and she's a character in this play. But the play itself is a fictionalized imagining of what, a silly little marriage farce in this historical trans space. And it was something that I heard about via the Joy Who Live Theater Festival, and auditioned, even though plays are not normally my vibes. But that's okay. I'm gonna see what happens, and I don't know because the callbacks were last weekend, and they said it was going to take 2 weeks. But it was written by Shuali Cook, so shout out to her. Cool trans playwright.
Nice. So it sounds like you will know by the time this episode comes out if you got the part. So if you didn't get the part, do you want me to just cut this whole thing?
No.
Okay, great.
No, so if you're listening to this episode, then you can go, I guess, look this up and find out whether or not I did get the part. And that's something you can hold over me for the rest of your listening experience, is that like you have that information that I don't have talking. You can feel superior to me in that way. And I'm happy for you.
When you're searching on social media for this post, you're going to be very normal about it and not comment anything weird in relation to this, because this podcast takes a hard stance against bullying. If someone pushes you out of a moving vehicle and or bullies your play on Instagram for not casting a person that you heard on a podcast, talk to a trusted adult.
And if you're going to bully anyone as a result of this play, you can bully me. Like, if you find out I didn't get the role,
no,
please
we have a hard stance against that. Don't do that. No
okay,
bullying.
I need clarification. Is your hard stance against all bullying or just bullying that involves pushing someone out of a moving vehicle?
And or making weird comments on social media to a play because it did not cast. Those are the two things.
Hang on, are we against all bullying or just non-consensual bullying?
That's a good point. That's a good question. But
because,
it's really bullying.
Get your kink.
Right, exactly. Like, Sarah just gave her consent to be bullied. So, I mean, I feel like, look, I have not spent a ton of time as a bully, but I feel like that would take the fun out of it for me if somebody was like, yeah, bully me. Or it wouldn't take the fun out of it, but it's a very different kind of fun. Let's say
think,
that.
Like, as someone who was a closeted queer, but very uncloseted, just like weird little nerd growing up, I should have been a bullied child, but I wasn't, and I think in part I just got lucky with like where I went to school and who my classmates were, but I think in part I just wasn't a fun person to bully. You know, like bully would say some shit, and I'd just be like, "Oh, I mean, okay."
Yeah,
he was a delightful person to bully, and I got it relentlessly.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
I was a pissy little baby. I can't even say that I didn't serve. Like I look at pictures of me and be like, yeah, I see what they were talking about.
Oh,
Sarah, I was kind of in the same boat as you. I feel like I was in a like. I was sort of in the sweet spot of autism where I like wasn't quite, I wasn't quite autistic enough to understand that I was being bullied until like much later, you know what I mean? But like, so I just kind of let things slide off me, and I was just very cool about everything. And I'm still that way.
Yeah.
Do you ever get the like, because I have, like, I know that I was bullied, but there are times where I think I wasn't, where, like, it feels like I wasn't bullied, but because I also sometimes lack awareness that somebody is bullying me until later, I now just can't trust any social interaction. And that's why it took me, like, 30 years to make friends.
Yeah. That's fair.
No, I mean, that's totally fair.
I mainly got bullied by girls, which is like one of the things that sort of was like, oh, I should have realized that I'm a girl because girls don't bully boys this way. That was like high school for me. I got bullied by a bunch of theater girls. Although one of them, a few years like after we graduated high school, like apologized to me.
Oh, God.
Like,
wow.
We like ran into each other at a party, and she was like, "Hey, I'm really sorry that I, treated you that way. I was like really fucked up." I was like, "That's great. Gave me warm feelings."
I just grew up to be insanely hot, so
that's the other way to do it. That's the other way you get back at them.
Mm-hmm. I did that too. It just took longer.
Well, it's because the bully reached out and said, "I'm sorry. You should become insanely hot."
Yeah.
Oh. See, I wish my bullies had said that. I would have gotten hot way earlier. Before I became a woman, I was just like I was like, oh yeah. It was like, he's cute. He's kind of cute.
Hmm.
You know? But now I'm hot, so.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
On your Doctor Who podcast.
Take that, bullies.
yeah, bullies, but you didn't think I'd spend 13 years meticulously editing Doctor Who into chronological order.
Yeah, that sweet spot of autism. That's
Which
the.
I'm not going to give you a hard time for on this episode because I already voiced all of my concerns about this in the last episode.
Oh, sure. Well, that was last season. Who knows? Or, whatever. Anyway,
Well, go listen to if you're listening to this podcast and you're like, but wait, I want to know Sarah's concerns for Becca's mental health. Go find that episode.
Yeah, but you have to listen to all of the episodes in chronological order. No jumping back and forth on things.
Yeah,
we are very strict on the show. You must experience the Doctor Who the way it was meant to be, and this podcast is the same.
That's true. It would be a complete violation of the spirit of the project.
And that's why everything that we've ever put on this podcast feed has always been recorded in the exact order that it was meant to be released.
Yeah.
What's fucked up, the listeners might not know this about what you do to your guests, but like normally if you're going to hop on a podcast episode like this, they'll be super chill. They'll be like, we'll be talking about like these 2 Doctor Who episodes or this chunk of the Stitch in Time edit. You can watch it or not watch it or anywhere in between. They'll just be like really chill like that. But this podcast is different. They're like, unfortunately, because it would be a violation of the spirit of the project, you do have to watch the entirety of the Stitch in Time edit up until the point we're talking about in your episode.
Yeah.
Well, Sarah, it is like we're not gonna sit and make you and like force you to watch it. You can sign an affidavit confirming that you have just watched all of Stitches in Time on your own behalf. And it does say that if you haven't and we find out, we can sue you in court for everything that you have ever owned. And 9 of your next unborn children, cats do count.
Right.
Yeah, I'll clarify that I'm very much aware of that, actually, after my experience the last time I recorded an episode, and I did sign such an affidavit.
Because that's the thing.
Allegedly falsely.
Right. Yeah, like, that's the thing is that if we, generally speaking, our monthly watch throughs of the entire Stitches in Time podcast that we host in a home movie theater for our future podcast guests,
in a warehouse basement, in an undisclosed location.
Yeah, generally those
you will not find them.
Those are optional, but but you still have to sign the affidavit. And if you sign the affidavit and then we find out you've been lying, then they do become mandatory, and you have to come every month, which is exhausting because it's 21 days long, so that takes up most of the month.
Yeah, it's been a huge problem for me. That's the real reason I don't know if I'm in this play, actually, is I just haven't been allowed outside or access.
We didn't let you go to that callback because
right.
The walls are leaded.
Right. Which it's on me for trusting either of you. You told me,
yes.
You told me, hey, there's a dropout audition down here, and fool that I am, I went down with you, and I allowed you to inject me with what you called the comedy juice.
In fairness, as you remember, there was a dropout in the stairs that led you plunging into the basement where we hold our 21-day marathon. So I didn't lie about there being a dropout audition. You definitely passed that one as you fell down from the stairs.
Yeah, and I mean you have me on every single technicality, which is why I'm still here. There's no like chains or anything. It's as was stated in my bio, the most important thing in the universe is being technically correct. And
well, you've already sawed off your own foot, so there was really no point in having the chains anymore.
Right. Exactly. At a certain point, you just I just found that I like preferred this life actually. Like
That's how we get you.
yeah, something about like because I have ADHD and I'm like inherently viscerally anti-authoritarian. I really historically tend to reject any kind of routines, even ones I want to impose on myself. But I have to say, the twice daily feedings and the 30 minutes of workout time every afternoon at exactly 4:15, it's it's just been really soothing, and
I'm really glad. Yeah, it's nice that we've really sort of ironed out the issues of like, oh yeah, we can like wheel in treadmills and everything without having you have to take your eyes off of the screen ever.
Yeah, and
you know.
I really have to say I'm very inspired about how fast you go on that treadmill despite having already sawed off one of your feet.
well, what I
Like the
found
way that
is, yeah, my trick was that it's the only having like one foot. It was being off balance that was throwing me off, so I just sawed the other one off, and now it's no problem.
I really
Perfect.
admire that. And it's inspiring to kind of see your transformation. Like you really can't be chained at this point.
Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah,
Wait, is that what trans means? Is that the surgery people talk about?
yes, yeah,
Oh, okay. So it did happen suddenly. I get it now.
yeah, yeah. It's yeah, rapid onset gender dysphoria.
Mm-hmm. And today we're talking about Meanwhile in the TARDIS, part one. So sorry. I'm so look. I love a tangent. How long have we been recording? We've been recording for over 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay,
And
but a lot of that was like
a lot of that was
wasn't-
pre-podcast
was
time.
pre-pod.
I had to restart recording because my audio didn't work. We've been recording for 28 minutes of pure content.
Now, much of that content will appear after the end credits, but yeah. Anyway, yeah, we're talking about Meanwhile in the TARDIS, Part 1, which is a Series 5 DVD extra featuring Matt Smith and Karen Gillan.
Do you know what I keep in here?
Look,
Absolutely everything.
And Mandy, I've got big news.
what?
We're in 3228 BC, which means we're finally out of the 4000s BC.
Ah!
I know.
We did it! And we're like so far through, like we're not even like the 3900s, like 3228.
Yeah,
That's making a big leap.
A big old leap.
Yeah, and I just need to clarify for myself here.
Mm-hmm.
This is a continuation of where you left off the first season.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's not like the first season you went through the whole edit and now you're cycling back.
Oh, no.
Okay.
No, we'd be dead.
How many seasons do you project it would take to get through the whole thing?
I did the math. Although,
I assumed, Becca.
If the show cancels right now and they immediately delete season 2 of the currently airing Doctor Who and say, no, wait, it was a mistake. This doesn't count. You're not allowed to look at it anymore. Becca, we won't give it to you. You can't put it in the edit.
mm-hmm.
How long would it take you, Becca?
It would be 24 or 25 years of the podcast.
That's amazing. And you are live updating the edit?
Yes, I've after this season completes, I will be re-uploading the videos and everything. So, yeah.
No, we won't, Disney. It'll all nothing exists. This was all a thought experiment.
Yeah. By uploading the videos, I just mean updating the spreadsheet. And that's all it is, Disney. God, leave me alone.
Yeah. That's actually not what they mean, Disney.
It means that Becca is just an autistic kid looking at a snow globe. That's what this entire podcast is.
Based on the videos y'all sent me, it looks like you're just intricately into accurately recreating all of this Doctor Who footage, but with copywritten clips from Disney feature films like Mulan, Lion King, etc.
It's actually just Song of the South.
It's all Song of the South, actually. And I wasn't going to say it because it makes y'all look bad, but since you brought it up.
Look, it's just the best
problematic.
movie. It's just our favorite Disney film, and continues to be to this day. I don't understand what the problem is.
It's the racism, actually, I think.
Oh, the racism, of course.
Yeah.
Becca always forgets about the racism.
You know what? Here's the really terrible thing is, over the course of this podcast, I have made like several jokes about like, haha, wouldn't it be funny if I were racist or evil or in some way? And it just, it's weird.
Yeah,
it's weird how that keeps cropping up.
And I get where that comedic intuition comes from, right?
Yeah.
Like, we want to be able to engage safely and playfully in taboo.
Yeah.
The unfortunate truth is that, though, it wouldn't be funny if you were racist or fucked up.
Right.
So,
yeah, no, the thing, to be clear to our listeners, the thing that makes it funny is that I don't actually espouse any of these particular viewpoints on the world.
Yeah.
I'm glad that we're making this caveat a year into the podcast.
Yeah.
That if we say something untoward, we're largely joshing.
Yeah.
We watched Amy be in the TARDIS and be like, "Oh, this is cool," and the Doctor goes, "You want to see something cool?" and pushes her outside in the vacuum of space.
Get out. What? No, seriously.
Get out!
Yeah. And do we get any follow-up on that?
Nope.
Okay.
Now, so I think this, based on like the fact that she's wearing her nightgown, and which is why I'm wearing my pajamas.
I have those same pajamas.
We are the same person, Sarah, except you're Instagram famous.
And you could be. All you gotta do
know.
is get randomly chosen by the algorithm.
I mean, you're also at least 20% funnier than I am, so.
Well, I'm not gonna. I don't have any. Good
Nice
way of
comeback.
responding
Way to
that.
be quick. Oh
Yeah.
God.
Hey, talk to a trust. Sarah, do you need to talk to a trusted
Are you
adult?
Are you a trusted adult, Mandy?
No.
Okay. Well,
Sarah,
gotta go
I will
find
push you out of this car.
Hey, if you are a trusted adult, please let us know in the form of a 5-star review to Apple Podcasts.
Yeah, and then if you can find the social media account for the Circle Hermaphroditos play, and just
And be normal.
just be really normal, but can you just let me know if I got the part or not?
Mm.
In the form of a 5-star review to Apple Podcasts.
Yeah, that would be perfect. Actually, yes, if I didn't get the part, leave a 5-star review on the Apple Podcast page for this podcast and just say, "Boo, Sarah sucks, can't act for shit," with the number 4.
And then
Right.
the trusted adult who has also left a 5-star review to Apple Podcasts can step in and be like, "No, that's not okay."
Yes. And that's
But not
how we
in a way
learn.
of reporting the review, because we would like to keep as many 5-star Apple Podcast reviews as possible.
Yes. So, meanwhile in the TARDIS, part 1, which is, it's only 3 minutes long, but we're not even talking about the whole thing of it because most of it is just the TARDIS in flight. I want to nip something in the bud here because I feel like we're going to get complaints.
Okay.
And so this episode technically is supposed to take place between 11th Hour and Beast Below. But of course, that's the BBC edit, and we don't believe in that. That's not the only reason. But so it seems like, because at the beginning of Beast Below, there's that was now, I think, an iconic shot of Matt Smith holding Amy by the ankle as she floats out in space from the TARDIS. Like, he's standing in the TARDIS and he's like holding her. And I'm like, this feels like maybe it should be the lead in to that shot. But that happens during The Beast Below, which is in the future. But I don't think it does, because Matt Smith clearly just like dives right out of the TARDIS after her in this clip. So this is definitely like a different thing for me. And I'm the person whose opinion matters. So that's why this is not in 3000 something AD. It's in 3000 something BC. Because random numbers.
Yeah, and as far as I'm concerned, I think Amy is dead. I don't know how much of a buffer the TARDIS has around, like how much around the TARDIS that just isn't a vacuum of space, and how much is just a vacuum of space where you would die on account of don't be in the vacuum of space.
Sure. See, I wonder if it's a pretty big bubble, then I feel like the immediate aftermath of this shot is they dive out of the TARDIS and then they're just like free standing in space for a while, but then they just like start, because the TARDIS in zero gravity everything has its own gravity, so like eventually they'd be like, oh, we didn't quite jump far enough to escape the TARDIS's gravitational pull. And so I like to imagine that at some point, like 10 minutes after this clip, is just Amy and Matt Smith just circling the TARDIS, like reaching out, trying to like grab onto it, but they're just like stuck in orbit around a very tiny orbit around the TARDIS.
I don't think the TARDIS... I think the TARDIS... Well, actually, what is the relevant mass of the TARDIS as far as its impacts on like gravity and space-time? Because I was going to say, I don't think the TARDIS is massive enough that like it would have a very high escape velocity. But now that I think about it, it very well could be.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, there are times in the show where it's like, put on a cart and like cart it off.
Yeah, it's not heavy, right?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's like, I don't think it's the weight of the infinite inside dimensions of it.
What do you think?
Yeah, so would they be orbiting the TARDIS? Would be the TARDIS be orbiting them?
I think they would have solidly. I think when we see Amy Pond get pushed out of the TARDIS, that is enough momentum. That's enough velocity to escape the gravitational field of the TARDIS
and be sucked into the vacuum of space. I don't even like when they open the door to space in the TARDIS.
Yeah,
like when they show it on the inside, it's like, no, you can't let the space in, because then all of the you gets sucked out.
Correct.
Yeah, humans can't breathe space. We breathe air.
I don't know
if the space gets in, we'll get space poisoning.
Breathe when our lungs get sucked inside out.
Yeah.
Yeah, not well, at least.
It's we really do a bad time in vacuums. Humans in vacuum bad.
Yes.
And I'm gonna hazard a guess. I think maybe also Time Lord in vacuum bad. I don't think Too Hard save you from vacuum.
No.
I don't know.
And it would be like, oh, you can regenerate, but regenerate in the vacuum of space. Are you gonna regenerate into an anti-vacuum?
Actually, I think I remember there was a John Pertwee episode where somebody sucked all the air out of an airlock that he was like trapped in, and that was like the cliffhanger of an episode. So
and then
he died. And Doctor Who was canceled from then on. It's weird. It's a weird episode.
Yeah, all of this was a prequel.
Yeah. That's like crazy, like fucking parallel universe shit. That's like fucking quantum, like Irwin's cat shit. You know what I mean?
Hey.
I think I'm gonna make that a running bit and I have a few running bits that are just in my life for myself.
I think that's a good one.
Yeah, I think only referring to Schrodinger's cat as Irwin's cat is gonna be one of them.
It's such a flex of like, no, I'm on first name terms with all famous scientists.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Becca, do you have any details about why I had to watch this? Why does this exist as a DVD extra? Who is this for? Besides enemy of the show and my wife, Ben Paddon?
For Ben Paddon. Yeah, so the majority of this episode is Amy just asking a bunch of questions at the Doctor quickfire about the TARDIS and stuff, because this is the first time she actually gets in the TARDIS.
Sorry, is that Ben Paddon? Is that Ben Paddon, the Aussie Rules football player?
I mean, I
don't know
thought
what
I
they're
knew
doing
what
there.
Ben's day job was, but maybe they're an Aussie football player.
Or is it the Canadian soccer player?
I don't
my
know why I'm
gosh.
dropping them off in Studio
Uh-huh.
City.
Oh my gosh.
Because when I Google Ben Paddon, the first two people I see is either a Canadian soccer player or an Australian Aussie football player.
Oh no, you have to Google enemy of the show, Ben Paddon.
Enemy of the show. How do you spell Patton? Maybe that's what I'm doing wrong.
Probably. Paddon.
What? That's fucked up. Paddon?
I mean, look, I don't make the rules.
Baddon? Oh, Ben Paddon.
Paddon.
Yeah.
I think I've met Ben Paddon. Yeah, you're talking about a real human being.
Yeah. I'm married to them.
Are you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they have been our producer.
You're married to all three of them?
Yeah.
Yep.
Ben Paddon, the writer, Ben Paddon, the Aussie Rules football player, and Ben Paddon, the Canadian soccer player.
Yes.
Wow.
It actually that's a loophole on the various like monogamy roles. You're allowed to marry multiple people so long as they have the exact same name.
How's being married to Ben Paddon?
It's normal. I end up
Nice.
watching a lot of Doctor Who, but fortunately not a lot of DVD extras. Though I guess they're mostly watching like classic DVD extras, and it's largely they just like do a bunch of clips of people in classic Doctor Who watching whatever the serial is and then commenting on it.
Nice.
Which is usually a lot of older women just kind of dancing around how usually bad they were kind of treated on set.
Yeah.
I mean, not a lot, like not like horrific things, but it's like, oh, that's not super nice. What you wanted to do one thing with your character, and they're like, no, scream and fall.
Yeah. It's very much just like, oh, I wanted to have like a meaningful acting career, but unfortunately, I was a woman in the 1970s.
Yeah. I saw that movie. What was that movie?
Oh, An Adventure in Space and Time? Is that what you're talking about?
No, I don't know what you're talking. I don't know what you're talking about.
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about the movie.
The
movie?
What movie?
Guys, no, you can't do this to me. I'm looking it up. I'm Googling. I'm talking about the movie Maxine.
Oh yeah, I love Maxine.
With
I don't
3 X's.
know how that is in any way related to what we were talking about, but okay.
Because that movie is about what it's like when you want to be an actress in the 70s, but you're a woman. Right?
Yeah, but also there's like a serial killer that's your dad.
Fine,
Spoilers for Maxine.
Fine,
Yeah.
there's a serial killer.
Mandy, we know it's the 1970s. We've established that.
Being an actor in the 1970s.
Yeah. Like, everybody's dad was a serial killer in the 1970s.
Like, it's actually one of the reasons why I've always felt like I was born in the wrong generation, because my dad's a serial killer. And so,
Oh,
like,
fun.
I've always felt like a 70s girl.
Yeah, I think that's why my dad waited to have children until the 80s, because he wasn't a serial killer, so he's like, I can't be a dad.
It was
law-abiding.
appropriative.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
In retrospect, it might be why I'm kind of so comfortable down here in this disgusting, dirty bathroom where you keep me. That's basically how I grew up.
How many years do we think it will take for the number of Saw movies to equal the number of Grand Theft Auto games?
I mean, are they going at different rates?
I feel like Saw is way ahead. But also, I mean,
it's way ahead.
Grand Theft Auto is 6 is coming out next year. I feel like I saw a trailer for at least Saw 8 or some shit.
I saw 11, I guess, came out this year. Mm-hmm. I've never seen a Saw film, or it's coming out this year. I've never seen a Saw, and I never intend to, on account of I don't want to.
I've only
That's a great reason.
I've only watched parts of the first one, but so I'm not really a watching the movie Saw person. I do love hearing about the lore of Saw. I love following those movies have batshit plot lines. So if I see a YouTube video where just recapping Saw lore, I am on it. I do not actually want to watch all the gore. I just want to learn about it's like some of them are just entire prequels to each other. The guy died and they've just continued to have a bunch of he wrote down instructions for 10 years from now.
Yeah. I agree. I love schlocky awful horror franchises. Look, if Scream 32 comes out, yeah, I'm going to watch it. But Saw, it's the gore for me. I can't handle the torture porn aspect. I don't like watching people being in pain.
Yeah, that would be a problem in those movies.
Yeah, it sucks.
I saw the first one, and I liked it okay. And then I think I tried to watch the second one, and I was just like...
And you realize that you would have to edit them all into chronological order, and that would be too much for you.
Yeah.
Next
my gosh. There is so much time travel in the Saw movies. It's like a main thing in there.
Well, what about a flashbacky series?
Yeah.
Would you have to edit flashbacks in order? Would that bother
you?
Yeah.
No, because I do that for Doctor Who when they have a flashback. I'm like, just gotta put it in the. The only other thing I have to say about Meanwhile in the TARDIS is that Amy opens the TARDIS doors and sees outer space and is like,
it's like special effects.
And I really like the idea of her in real life, Karen Gillan delivering that line in front of a green screen, and then Matt Smith being like, no, it's not special effects.
It's not special effects at all.
It's all real.
That's very funny.
Mm-hmm.
I guess if I had to have any first and final thoughts about Meanwhile in the TARDIS, it would be... I guess I'll go out on a limb here, and forgive me if this violates any of the podcast's official positions. I don't think you should be pushing people out of moving vehicles into the vacuum of space. To me, that feels like bullying, and this might be a crazy thing to say. You might disagree with me, Mandy, but I don't think people should do that.
And if they do that, you need to find a trusted adult and tell them, because that's not okay.
Mm-hmm.
Where are you finding a trusted adult in the vacuum of space? Tune in next week.
I think the trust. Look, we're all in space. We're all on a rock. That's just floating through space. Everyone's in space. There are plenty of adults that you can turn to.
Yeah. Look, if you need a trusted adult, find the Stitches in Time Doctor Who podcast page on Apple Podcasts and leave a 5-star review asking for a trusted adult to reach out.
I literally thought you were going to say, yeah, if you need a trusted adult, find one.
I mean, that's great advice, actually.
Yeah.
That's better than my advice.
That's the best advice I've ever
Because
come
if
up with.
someone, actually, I need to clarify. If someone reaches out to you and says, "Hey, I read your review of that podcast," they're not a trusted adult. Actually, you should not trust that person.
True.
Don't trust anyone online. Assume that everyone online is a 19-year-old who just got off of the worst shift of their life. Okay? That's how you have to handle everyone online.
That's actually how that is true of everyone online. I've never talked to anyone online who was not a 19-year-old just getting off their shift.
And that's actually serious advice. You gotta remember, those anonymous little comments people leave, unless they're 5-star reviews for this podcast, those are, you just gotta assume, first thing, okay, this is for your mental health. Someone says some stupid bullshit, before you argue with them, be like, would I argue with this person if I knew they were 19 and had just gotten off the worst shift of their life and they were just venting?
Interesting. See, my reaction to that would be like, you're 19, you haven't had much of a life to have bad shifts in, so like the worst shift of your life could be pretty mild by somebody with actual... Oh God, I'm an old person. Oh, I felt that.
Oh!
19-year-olds work a lot of bad jobs, Becca.
That's true. Oh God, I'm like 10 minutes away from complaining about my sciatica or some shit.
They just worked Black Friday at Forever 21.
Yeah.
Oh, we had to argue with our manager not to be open Thanksgiving Day when I worked at Pottery Barn Kids. They wanted to be open Thanksgiving Day.
Wow.
At Pottery Barn Kids.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing. I've never had a bad job or a bad shift in my life.
I've never had a bad experience of any kind.
Yeah. It's because you know how not to get bullied.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You lean in, way of least resistance. It's the resistance that makes it fun for them. So if they're like, "Ooh, yeah, saw off your foot," for example, and you just say like, "Sure," then boom, you've removed all the fun for them.
Sarah, can you be my trusted adult?
Yes.
I forgot about the time I worked at the sawing off your own feet factory. Those are probably the worst shifts I've had.
When we do our watch for the podcast, the mandatory podcast watch, and cut off your feet-a-thon.
Yep. Anyway, that's Meanwhile in the TARDIS.
I do want to. We got some comments. We got an edit. We got a correction. Actually, somebody wrote in with a correction. This is from YouTube user PoGigWapo 5093. I wanted to contact you on your website about a chronological mistake in Stitches in Time, but I couldn't, either through my incompetence or your aversion to being contacted.
This is a stranger?
Yeah.
Okay.
And also, side note, I did look at the website and the contact page was not loading. So I was like, oh, that's a problem. So I fixed that. So you can reach out to me through the website. They continue, but I found you, so here's my little complaint. Sorry, Mandy, this is spoilers. Jack Harkness witnessed the year 2000 in Cardiff, whereas the 8th Doctor witnessed it in San Francisco. Jack's scene should have been 8 hours before the new millennium in the movie.
Oh, get fucked.
That is all. Amazing job, by the way.
Oh!
And that is absolutely true. And also, the reason that I fucked that up is because during the course of editing this, I moved from the East Coast of America to the West Coast. But I knew people on both coasts the whole time. And so, like, I think somehow in that move, the way I thought about time zones got a little bit fucked up. Yeah, so
which
thank
is
you.
Rich coming from you, Becca.
I know. Look, this is my deepest shame, and I'm just
That's a great shout though. What was this commenter's name?
This is Pogiguapo 5093.
Pogiguapo 5093. Stellar work.
I don't know how to what the thing is, but yes, excellent catch. Great work on that.
You win the satisfaction of being a helper.
You win the greatest thing in the universe, which is being technically correct.
The best, as you said, the best kind of correct. Also, Red-Tailed Dolphin 1875 replied to that. A time zone nitpick is exactly what I'd expect from fans of a podcast like this, or a product like this. Incredible catch.
Yes.
I like that we're a product. That.
Yeah. Time zone nitpicks is kind of your personal brand, huh?
Yeah. It's time zone nitpicks and not having any friends. That's like those are the two main things.
I was your friend.
No,
Do I not have friends?
I yeah, but like I know that you're only my friend, so you can do this podcast because this is the greatest love of your life is doing this with me.
It's true. I'm going to speak
found
for Mandy.
out.
That's correct.
Great.
Mandy told me long before y'all ever met. Mandy said, "I'm going to befriend Becca so I can get that sweet, sweet Stitches in Time gig."
Yeah.
I need that money.
Hey, Mandy, nailed it.
I get so much money.
I promise your first paycheck will arrive any month now.
Ooh.
Yeah, and if you're listening to this podcast, you can find Stitches in Time on patreon.com/Sara Rose Caplan. And no, I'm just kidding. I don't even have a Patreon, so no one would benefit from that joke.
But yeah, Sarah, where can people find you on the internet if they wanted to?
Well, you can find me on Instagram at Sara Rose Caplan. And that's, I guess, the best place to find me right now. You can, those of you who are skilled in the arts of kind of sigilpathic communicates, then reach out to me. My sigil is Xanthiang.
Great. And everybody please tune in next week, and Sarah, I hope you'll join us for when we talk about Wild Blue Yonder.
It's going to depend on my arms.
Great. We'll see what length they are. Okay, bye everyone. Thanks for listening to Stitches in Time. Music by Becca McGlynn. Art by Mandy Oquendo. Logo by Ben Paddon. Produced by Becca McGlynn and Ben Paddon. Email us at matrixarchivist@gmail.com. Your turn!
Okay, let me make sure my microphone is doing okay. Oh no, it switched to a bad microphone.
Oh no!
Why is it pretending like
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
another microphone?
No, sorry.
One moment.
All my friends had dogs growing up for the most part, so I sort of always forget that you can just throw cats.
I grew up with
awesome.
dogs, so this was like a recent discovery for me.
Oh, okay. So
I love it. It's
great.
I'm going to say discovery, imposition on them. I'm not actually sure if I'm supposed to do that, but they seem fine.
Yeah, I'm sure they're fine. My roommate has a cat, and it's like the most chill cat I've ever met, and but it like also does not like it doesn't like normal things that a cat likes.
No.
Like sometimes I try to put her in a like cardboard box and she's like, okay, and then she just hops out.
They have to choose that for themselves.
I know,
Yeah.
but she never chooses the box. It's weird.
And you want the cute cat in a box.
Yeah. But the other plus side is that she will sometimes just like come up to me and then just fall over for belly rubs and then like actually take belly rubs. Unlike every other cat that I've ever met who's like, I want 3 seconds of belly rubs and then I'm done.
Yeah.
Chester will take belly rubs. Chester will take, like, I can hold his belly and just spin him on the floor.
My little boys are both huge cuddle sluts who will take as many rubs of any kind as you will give them. And then I was at a friend's house last night and I was trying to interact with their cat like I interact with my cats and it bit me.
Oh no.
Not hard, but
I guess all cats are different.
just fucked up.
You've barely started.
In that case, I will keep fucking with my lights.
Sarah, I much preferred last time you recorded with us where you decided to go find your lights like an hour into recording.
Yes, I'm sorry. I'm becoming disgustingly more professional.
Oh my gosh. Well, you're a big chat Instagram star now, so.
I'm a big chat Instagram star now, actually.
Yeah. So actually.
Yeah.
I've been really enjoying your videos, by the way.
Oh,
They're very good.
Oh.
You'd never know that because I never hit the heart button on anything I watch, but
I don't either, and I've only started doing it in the last month when I'm like, oh, but I actually like it when people do it on my videos. So maybe I should do it.
Yeah.
I've always been like,
makes sense.
I'm not giving this algorithm nothing.
I will remain as much of a mystery as is. I do love it when like Facebook or Instagram will like advertise something to me that is nothing at all, anything that I would ever.
That's
like,
the good shit.
Yeah, you don't know anything about me. Yeah, keep advertising pickup trucks. Yeah, go for it.
Well, okay, but that actually, I do like pickup trucks.
Oh, okay.
But
well, that's probably the only difference between you and me, Sarah.
Unfortunately, for you, because I'm a very broken person. So.
Oh well, we all are.
It's
2025. We can all be broken.
That's so for true.
Cats, do you know what I keep in here?
What?
Absolutely everything.
And I spent the last 13 years of my life meticulously editing the entire televised Doctor Who universe into chronological order.
And my something's up with my microphone's cord. If I touch it slightly, it disconnects. So let me make sure.
I don't.
Okay, it's still...
I don't get it. I don't understand the reference you make. Also, generally, you say like, "And I'm Mandy," and my microphone's doing something weird where every time I touch the cord, like I don't want to tell you how to do your job, but.
Anything take your fancy?
We're in space.
Well, by the time this comes out, that'll be less than a year away. They announced the thing, May 2026.
Oh.
I know, but anyway,
I'm mostly proud of myself that I got the right number because I don't know any of the GTAs, but I know people talk about 5, so I think 6 is the one that they what?
Yeah, 6 is the one that they that is about to come out. I also really love that. So GTA, this is Sarah. I promise I will get around to introducing you.
That's fine.
But I just love this little tangent about GTA 5 is that like, so the whole game is about like running this criminal empire, and pretty much all of the ways, you know, that you can earn money in the game are by doing illegal things. But also GTA 5 has been out so long and has been like, I mean, I still play it, like people still play it, and it's been around so long that like when it came out, weed was just like flat out illegal.
Hmm.
And like now, and so there's like you can run a weed business in GTA 5, and then like I don't know, in at least Los Angeles where GTA 5 supposedly takes place, it was like, oh, let's make this legal. Actually, that would be cool.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been legal for so long that I smoke weed. I've been to a dispensary, which like, okay, we're there. It's the new normal.
Yeah, it's not cool anymore.
Yeah, but GTA 5 is still like, weed, edgy.
Do you think GTA 6 will still let you have a weed business, but it is just the ins and out of running a small business? You got to just pay rent regularly. Like, you can choose that track, but it's way more annoying. You can't do it. Like, the crimes are mostly tax evasion.
I mean, that is kind of the way that it's structured now, but everything's fine.
Is it?
Maybe.
Yeah, that's space.
But it can't be.
But it is.
But it's like special effects.
Like what?
It's so, isn't it? It's not real.
I do want to clarify, though. I am specifically one very minute kind of racist, which is I don't trust those big-armed motherfuckers from the nothingness outside the edge of the universe. Those guys, I don't like them.
Wow, that's a spoiler for next episode, Sarah.
That's what you told me to watch.
We're doing 2 episodes.
We're doing 2 episodes here, Sarah.
Oh, I'm recording 2 episodes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Congratulations.
Yay!
Okay,
Okay, that's a spoiler for next episode, everyone. Unfortunately, in keeping with the project, Becca is going to have to edit that clip into the next episode.
Mm-hmm. Well, now I can't because you said the next episode. You have to say, Becca's edited this clip into this episode, which will,
Well, as of this current statement, it's now 5 minutes into the next episode.
Incredible. Wait, so did you watch the Meanwhile in the TARDIS?
I watched Amy Pond get pushed into space.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the only bit.
Okay,
we're
yeah, I
talking
watched.
about
I
right now.
watched. Oh, great, yeah, I watched that.
That's why we have had 30 minutes of waffling, because we watched nothing.
Yeah.
Get out.
What?
No, seriously.
Here's another thing. I just looked at the podcast reviews, and somebody please leave us another review, because our most recent review, which is what shows up first thing on our page, is Mandy saying, "Becca, that's not how you pronounce Fuliculi," and that's not like, I mean, it is a 5-star review, so I guess it makes us look good in that way.
Oh wait, I have to update my review.
Okay.
Oh my
Stitches
God.
in Time, a Doctor Who podcast.
Hmm.
How do I get to the info page? How many listeners do y'all get on this pod?
It's I think it's in the 3 digits.
3
Which-
digits? That's actually great. That's way
I-
more than my Riverdale Season 6 pod ever got.
What? I don't think it's that consistently, but
Look,
Yeah.
if you get 3 digits. I mean, look, that's great. Like, that could be anywhere from 100 to 999 people,
yeah. And
right?
I don't feel the need to specify which end of that spectrum we're on.
And that means you have like a solid small Christian private school listening to every episode.
I hope so. I hope that's our
To all
only
the
audience.
sophomores out at St. Dominicans,
Congrats on that, Pope.
Oh my God.
You've barely started.
is that Ben Paddon, the Aussie Rules football player?
I mean, I
don't know
thought
what
I
they're
knew
doing
what
there.
Ben's day job was, but maybe they're an Aussie football player.
Or is it
I don't
the
know why I'm
Canadian
dropping
soccer
them
player?
off
Oh
in
my
Studio
gosh.
City.
Uh-huh.
Oh my gosh.
Because when I Google Ben Paddon, the first two people I see is either a Canadian soccer player or an Australian Aussie football player.
Oh no, you have to Google enemy of the show, Ben Paddon.
Enemy of the show. How do you spell Patton? Maybe that's what I'm doing wrong.
Probably. Paddon.
What? That's fucked up. Paddon?
I mean, look, I don't make the rules.
Baddon? Oh, Ben
P-
Paddon.
Paddon.
Yeah.
I think I met Ben Paddon. Yeah, you're talking about a real human being.
Yeah. I'm married to them.
Are you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they have been our producer.
You're married to all three of them?
Yeah.
Yep.
Ben Paddon, the writer, Ben Paddon, the Aussie Rules football player, and Ben Paddon, the Canadian soccer player.
Yes.
Wow.
It actually that's a loophole on the various like monogamy roles. You're allowed to marry multiple people so long as they have the exact
Yeah.
same name.
Cats, do you know what I keep in here?
What?
Absolutely everything.
You should find. Have you ever played Blades in the Dark?
No, what is that?
Blades in the Dark, it's a TTRPG system by John Harper, and it's all kind of like very heist-based. It's a heist-based
Ooh.
game system in sort of like a dark urban fantasy setting. And the main mechanic is flashbacks to be like, can I roll to see if I would have, like made a copy of the key and taped it into my shoe or
cool.
something?
Oh, that's awesome.
So what you should do, you should find a tiny Blades in the Dark actual play. I'm talking like 3 viewers, 2 of whom are their moms, and go through their entire corpus and edit that all into chronological order, and then just send it to
them. If we ever hit 4 digits of listeners, I will do that.
No, don't commit yourself to that.
I think honestly, like, I'm thinking about like, oh yeah, like actually a really difficult thing to do this with would be something like Ocean's 11, because it's just like constant little flashbacks, little scenes, and then like all this like split screen stuff, and I'd have to like isolate them. And
See, that one, I feel like someone has probably taken Ocean's 11 and like up or like that series of films and put those in chronological order, because that's the sort of thing that like people who get really into like, oh, you have to read the Chronicles of Narnia in like the timeline order, or watch the Marvel movies in chronological order. Like, you're just gonna watch a series of bad films that just lead up to nothingness. As opposed to Doctor Who, where this is the correct way to watch it, definitely.
yeah, that's also like, that's what I feel about like people who are like, oh, you got to watch it in like Star Wars in, starting with the Phantom Menace and going through. It's just like, no, because if you do that, you get 3 mediocre movies, 3 like 2 excellent movies and a mediocre movie, and then 3 like barely tied together fever dreams. And it's like, that's not you. Okay, the thing about like the compliment sandwich, where you give somebody a compliment and then you like give them a little criticism and then another compliment. This is the opposite of that, is watching Star Wars in order, and that's not a good way to do it.
Becca, I need to admit something to you. I'm a strong believer in the fucked upness and weirdness of humanity. But Mandy, as you said, surely someone's done a chronological edit of Ocean's 11. My thought process was, no. What do you mean, surely someone's done that? There's only one fucked up little freak who would actually do this. And
she's busy with Doctor Who.
Yeah. So I Googled Ocean's 11 fan edit chronological order, and I didn't find it. But I did immediately find myself on a Reddit page where someone asks for a chronologically ordered fan edit of the show Once Upon a Time, And then someone
Ooh.
immediately comments, I just re-uploaded my chronological fan edit of Once Upon a Time. And it's
God! Becca, your soulmate!
I
Becca,
know.
it's your soulmate!
I know. I have to reach out. We gotta do some. I wonder if
You
they have a
gotta
podcast
kiss.
yet.
It is.
You got
it
a
is-
kiss.
If you go to chronologicalonce.wixsite.com, I don't know if they have a podcast. It's
Wait, chronological once dot wix site.
wixsite.com.
Did I spell chronological wrong? No. Did they spell chronological one wrong?
Chronological once. Here. I love this is my favorite kind of podcast content where we're all Googling something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put it in the chat for you.
I found a. Oh no! Okay, it's the site I was taken to is chronologicalonce.wixsite.com/chronologicalonce.
Oh yeah, that's
Okay, because I went to just the main site and it was a 404 error.
Got it. Interesting. They should fix that. Yeah, so this person says, watching ABC's Once Upon a Time over the multiple seasons, I started to wonder what the series would be like and how watchable it would be if I rearranged the series in chronological order instead of crisscrossing timelines and flashback stories.
Ah, that's so cool. I would actually watch that. I would watch this. I do like that it says, as of the writing of this, you can watch the chronological Once Upon a Time series by a private Google Drive link. Highly encourage you to only do this if you own or have access to a legal copy of the series through Blu-ray or streaming. Following this recommendation will help ensure that the House of Mouse doesn't shut this project down. So I guess we're shedding light on this, and I'm sorry. I'm already sorry about this.
Well,
but it sounds great.
It is one podcast fan thing that is trying to hide from the House of Mouse to another one. We salute you.
Also, to all of our listeners, only watch the Doctor Who in chronological order. Only watch the Stitches in Time edit if you have access to all of the, a legal way of watching all of the things that are included in Doctor Who.
Only if you pay your TV license.
I would say only watch it if you personally have kidnapped Russell T Davies and forced him to sign a legal contract granting you the sole rights to watch Doctor Who in any form. And then you could start suing anybody else who watches, Doctor Who.
I really like
this. Does Disney own Doctor Who? I don't know
Disney,
why I'm just now thinking about this.
BBC owns it. Disney just distributes it.
Yeah, but Disney sure got lawyers that give a shit what Americans are doing a bit more.
True.
Oh, I see. Even right now?
I mean, I'm already a fugitive from justice for existing in 2025 America, so...
Can you imagine being a lawyer in May of 2025 who's like, the most important thing I can do with my law degree right now is stop this person from distributing Mulan 2.
Yeah.
I can imagine that. What a world. What a life.
What a world.